Hi, welcome. So today we're going to draw a card from the Spirit Animal Guidebook from the Wild Unknown, Kim Krans, the genius artist. I love everything she puts out into the world. It is beautiful. So let's get a spirit animal, and we won't even look at it this time. We're not even going to reveal it until the end. Thank you for being here. It is Sunday, August 23rd. A lot it's There's been a lot in the last couple of days that I would like to talk about or reveal when it just needs to come through. Part of which, by the way, that monitor. We did another round of cleaning out the house in preparation of our move. That monitor is now 11 years old. It is heavy. It no longer works. Do you want it? I don't know what to do with it now. Maybe that's a message about, like, what are you holding on to that no longer works for you? We've been talking about that lately, and I wouldn't be surprised if it comes through in the cards. Okay, it's still a little sticky. I want this one. Not gonna look at it. We'll put it right there. Okay. So I've already pre-shuffled these with some intentions, some meditations, and let's see what comes through. This is going to be for the overall themes for today's reading. And then we're actually going to do something pretty classic. The Celtic Cross was coming through. So first we'll draw 3 cards. Oh, okay. We have the jumpy one, 7 of Wands. I wonder if any others will want to jump or if they should just... Here. And we have the Knight of Swords. So funny. These keep those. We've definitely had some themes lately, haven't we? Okay. And the King of Swords. So the overall energies here, 7 of Wands, Knight of Swords, King of Swords. There's, let's say, there's energies of standing your ground, protecting what you want. This was the theme before, so it doesn't surprise me it's spilling over. We'll see though how it feels once we get into the cards, because the 7 of Wands, like we said before, there can be protection energy, but there can also be being a little defensive. I'm not picking up on that anymore because there's all of this really swift clarity, confidence. So it feels like you're really rooting in and saying, this is what I want, and I'm willing to stand my ground for it and protect it. Meaning, I'm creating this energetic bubble around what I want, because I feel like everything right now, there's just a lot. There's still a lot moving, and it feels like a lot of air energy. And we're seeing that come through in the overall themes, meaning like that the swords are all like this kind of energy. But then, well, Knight of Swords especially, that's like one of the fastest, swiftest air movements in tarot. And then the King of Swords is this, we're growing, it almost feels like we're moving into, from, let's just go as a progression, we're moving into, okay, now I know what I really want, what's really calling me. And then the universe gets busy saying, okay, here you go, here's a whole bunch to consider. And then you are growing in your ability to really be clear about which ones you're catching. So that's what it feels like to me. But let's see what the cards say. I've already pre-shuffled this as well. The Knight of Pentacles just popped out. So it looks like you're taking action forward in that direction. Let's see though what we have. Primary energy. I'm going to have to move these to create some more space here. Let's just do that right now. All right. What do we have for our collective audience in the broad, general, or specific messages? Man. Okay. We have the 9 of Wands. That came through yesterday, didn't it? The 7 of Pentacles, right here in the heart. And then the overall energy, the 5 of Cups. Wow. We're going to keep going, obviously, but right here, it feels like you're at that point. This feels like, sorry, like this felt really pivotal. That's the word, poignant, pivotal. There's this, like, you're this Nine of Wands. It's like, yeah, standing that ground. The seven has grown into the nine. So it's like you've, there's something about this self the perseverance aspect here, like there's no more, see how this person's looking backwards. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, the reason I'm pausing to wait for this to land is because this isn't coming through the way it normally does, where it's like, oh, things have, not normally, but a lot of the times it's like, oh, things have been hard, but guess what? It made me stronger. I am now more self-reliant. Sometimes it's like that could all be true. Sometimes it's like I have always had to do it myself, so I'm going to continue carrying all this heavy load, but why does it have to be so hard? It almost feels like that is the old, like you've transcended or pivoted past that. Why does it have to be so hard? Like we've already dealt with that. Why do you have to be so rude? That song, why you have to be so rude? Is that the song? It's like the tune of the song. It's like, why does it have to be so hard? I don't sing. Anyway, it feels like you've gone past the why does it have to be so hard. It's like because you're no longer putting that sense of agency outside yourself. You're like, oh, if it was hard, I had a hand in that. And you're not doing that anymore. Okay. That's why it felt different this time. In the challenge area, there's the Seven of Pentacles, which is the juice worth the squeeze? I'm committing to something for my own well-being, highest good for the long run. Why is it in the challenge area? Is there something that is still unseen, or where you're kind of maybe rushing forward because we have all the quick sword energy here? So it's like, is it hard to just pause a little bit longer right now for some reason? And it doesn't feel hard. It just feels like, oh, I didn't consider that. Of course I'll pause. That's kind of what it feels like. Maybe I just need to pause in this protective bubble, standing my ground, waiting to launch, that you say, oh yeah, I could take a beat. Well, I just didn't consider it. So there's something about that here. And then the Five of Cups is this, that's the overall energy. So it's the both and. Yes, I've been focused on what's gone wrong, what's been hard, what I've lost. Oh gosh, the emotions, the sort of like I almost wanted to say Debbie Downer, negative Nancy, negative Nelly. Those are all the words. And you're done with that. There's the both and would be, and I also am so grateful. I have a lot going for me. So this does feel very pivotal right now. This is all about your shifting mindset, and you're willing to take a beat to really let that land. There's a lot of letting things land in you. Maybe that's because like the Seven of Wands is like you're digging in and then you're waiting for all this to land so things can become clear and you're confident. And all you have to do is take a beat. Take a beat. That is Hamilton. I don't usually shuffle as I lay these out. I almost did. Oh, the High Priestess is in your what's yet to be seen. What is unseen right now that we need to take a look at? What's in the subconscious? What are the unconscious motivations, drivers? High Priestess is the biggest intuitive card, like the most powerful intuitive card in tarot in some sense. So she has this inner belief in herself. So in trust, there's something about, I don't think there's a lack of belief in the self. We're going to clarify this, especially since it's a major arcana. This just feels like there are some major energetic, universal things influencing what's happening right now in your life. And we're not going to breeze past those and downplay them and just say, you need to tap into your intuition. Well, no, duh. We all do. That's too superficial for what's coming through here. I'm getting all the chills at my back. It's like spirits coming through and saying, yeah, keep like pushing us forward. And then in the recent past, we have the Six of Cups. This is you having done all of your emotional healing, all of the work that got you to this point today. So that's what I've already felt. Like this, the hard emotional work, the feeling into that tender, vulnerable self, doing your inner child healing, shadow work, reaching out to soul connections, the people who matter in your life to say, like, you matter. I'm choosing you, like, wherever you felt defensive, like turning, like all of this feels very pivotal. You've got the both and here. Both meaning some of this energy that you would normally read in these cards is what happened in the past. And now you're embodying the more upright, bright light aspect of these energies going forward. Oh, wow. So yeah, there's something about when I say soul connection, it could be just the loved ones in your life that your partners, your family, your friends. And that's like wherever you once felt a little defensive, like, oh, just I need my space. Take that as it resonates at whatever intensity. Now it's like, oh, I choose you. You matter to me. You've opened that heart. You're becoming vulnerable with people. You're speaking your feelings about what people mean to you. It's like let them, and you've been apparently starting to do that, or at least open up to that, because now going forward, that seems to be what is creating this shift from the shadow aspects to the light aspects of these energies. Wow. And then in the conscious drivers, the conscious thoughts and motivations, you have the Queen of Swords. This is you desiring to get very clear, to have a different sense of discernment where it's not defensive. It is like leaning in. There's, oh my God, there's all of this, like what was once like this is now a pivot in your sense of agency in your own life. Like I am again the captain of my ship. Like there, why it's like something has become very clear to you about the way you've seen things in the past, or the way you've behaved because of the hidden ways you've kind of perceived things. Like when I say hidden, I mean you've perceived things in a certain way, and maybe you didn't question why you perceived them. You just thought that was part of you, and that's just what everybody thought. And and now it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. I have choice here. I can choose how to perceive things. And so this is you going from wait, 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 wait. Like, show your hand. I don't trust, blah, blah, blah. And now it's like, no, I'm curious about you. Nothing can hurt me. I'm standing in my power. Let's see what you got. It's like different. All right. And in the future, you have Temperance. You're harmonizing all of these things that through the pivot. It's like you're this little alchemist, like taking in everything in your surroundings. It's like, oh, nothing's off the table. That's what came through. Nothing's off the table for you right now. And that what once seemed overwhelming about that, where you're like, no, defensive, Seven of Wands. Now it's like, oh yeah, let me take all these things into my bubble to consider, because now I have this real discernment on my side, the curious discernment. Wow, nothing's off the table. I need to write down the possible titles of these before I forget. Nothing's off the table. And both and is you're getting very clear on how to decide where you will make these really critical choices for the future. In the Heart's Desires, you have the Four of Swords. That is why this is happening. You have admitted to yourself that what's really important is that you get really aligned. This is like the feeling of this reading. You've got look, it's right here. Look. Don't look at my cuticles. It's manicure day. Look at the sword. Look at this. A different way that they're holding it. That's it. This is that's your desire. And that's why everything's shifting, is because it comes from here. Like, oh yeah, that's what I want. Okay. Surrounding energies, all of the surrounding energies, you've got the Five of Swords, honey. So that was funny. Hold on, I gotta take a drink. This is the card. This could be, because it's in the surrounding energies, this feels like other people. I don't often say that because I really feel like the ways that stuff comes through, it's mostly about you. Well, of course, this influences you, but right now this feels like other people's thoughts and opinions and maybe criticisms, maybe judgments, but it's a lot of other happening here. And it feels like you're not letting that get in the way anymore. That's what it feels like. It feels like you can consider through this Queen of Swords and the desire to discern. Now you're leaning into them. Now you're not like, just get away, or feeling like snarky, like the snapping turtle that says, don't come at me, or kind of reactionary. That's the word. That's not it anymore. Now it's like, oh, okay, I'm solid. It doesn't matter who's coming at me, because the Seven of Wands is like this energy where it feels like you have to create that bubble because there's external forces trying to invade. That's an extreme way to say it, but you know what I mean. It could just be Joe Blow down the block says something about your rose bushes and you're like, who cares what you think, Joe? I like them this way. Sure, they're a little overgrown, but I'll prune them when I want. I don't know why I'm saying that. Do you have rose bushes? I don't. But anyway, it's like, it could be some basic stuff like that. And it's not like you're reacting anymore to say, those aren't your words you're saying to Joe Blow. You're probably saying, oh, is that what you do at home? That's interesting. You know why? Because the Five of Swords is very reflective. That's why that came up. You're holding up a mirror to people right now without even like trying. So you've gone from reactionary, I don't care what you think, Joe, about my rose bushes. You're like, oh, interesting perspective. Is that what you do at your house? Oh, yeah. Does that work really well? Like, you're by like turning the thing around on them in the form of a question, they're like, oh, I guess I didn't need to insert my opinion about your rose bushes. You're good. That's exactly the vibe here. You're holding up a mirror. Your way of being has shifted because your desires and your beliefs have shifted. So now you're being different with people, which is holding up a mirror. You're not reacting anymore. You're solid. Sometimes you don't even have to say a word, I bet. You just give them a look. You're like, internal monologues like, okay, Joe, I got shit to do. Okay. Now we have the hopes and fears. We have the Nine of Pentacles. This feels like your hope is like you're fully content with the way you've alchemized things, the way you're integrated is the real word that I'm going for. The way you've integrated things in your life, now it's like you're open, because what's weird is like you're solidly open. It seems like a paradox. Those are true. So it's like you're solid, you're dug in, and that allows you to expand in your bubble. So it's like you're content. You're no longer out of alignment, and so what you've integrated feels in balance to you. So there's this element of balance with the Nine of Pentacles, and it's like, I have this many over here and I have this many over here, and it doesn't have to be the same amount to feel balanced. It's like, that's what I mean. It's like I've got something in like you has shifted in a way that says, oh, the balance, this feels broad. This the way I'm describing it might seem vague because it's like the way the balance is happening. Oh, I want to get more specific though. It feels like something else is here because it's a hope fear energy of the fear might be like how open is too open, how with all this swift energy of considering different things, is it going to become overwhelming and then I dilute everything or I forget what's important? No, that's just a fear. The hope is that you can remain solidly open and trust that you don't have to keep track up here. It's your internal resonance that's doing the integration. It's like, I'm taking some of this, taking some of this, the rest can shake off. And it doesn't happen up here. You're trusting. That's the hope, is that you're trusting. So just remain solidly open. That fear, it's one of those illusion fears. If you ever feel overwhelmed, do the self-care thing. The Four of Swords is here, meaning go quiet. All you have to do is like turn this off. Whatever you do to turn this off is what's being called for. And then in the potential outcome, you have the Two of Wands. This is you standing on the precipice. Maybe you've chosen the thing you're going for, the thing that matters to you. You're really digging into that because this person has their hand on the one they want to take forward. And they've got the world in their other hand saying, I'm coming, world, with this thing. Watch out. And so you're on that precipice of leaving the comfort zone to make it happen, to go for it. And so this is a period of like consideration and planning. And so we got that over here when we were talking about you created your bubble, you're considering, the universe is like, here, consider this. And the King of Swords has like raised his oomph to be like, okay, I got this, with the Queen of Swords. So with the King and Queen of Swords, those are the biggest like I'm clear. I'm clear in who I am, what I want, and I'm of clear and sound mind. Okay. Wow, guys, gals. That's amazing. So what I want to do is let's start clarifying a few things. Maybe not everything, because that will take a while. Maybe we'll keep this more succinct today. What I do want to clarify is right here, the High Priestess, because that's, you know, what's funny, out of all these readings, oh no, we got two major arcanas. So we'll clarify both of those. And maybe a little bit of this Seven of Pentacles challenge area in the present energy, because that's what you're dealing with right now. So it'd be really good to sit with that a moment. But first, the High Priestess. Tell us what the High Priestess is here to show us. Thank you. Okay. We have the Chariot, the Star, and the Four of Pentacles. This does have to do with your sense of stability. There's something here that feels like it's challenging your sense of stability, which is interesting because we've got the Pentacle, all the Pentacles are in the challenge positions. So you have the Seven of Pentacles here, which is like, can I keep going? Is it worth it? Am I committed? And then the Nine of Pentacles in the fear is, will I become too overwhelmed, or will it all be swept away? It's like doubts and fears about your stability and about your ability to integrate what you're trying to open up to. Oh, that felt really true. Mark those words. You're doubting your ability to integrate what you're trying to open up to. Is that what I said? So the High Priestess, which is that big intuitive, like really sifting through your own belief systems. You're navigating dark and light in the subconscious, and really like, what are my hidden desires and motivations and my hidden beliefs that I haven't questioned before? So, and here right in the center, we have the Star, which is hope and healing and renewal energy. On the left, we have the Chariot, which is you being able to go for it. You're choosing, you're using your willpower. It's that sense of agency we talked about in the beginning, where it's like, oh, I'm going for it and I'm grabbing the reins and I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my ship. That's ultimately the Chariot, like embodied. And then the Four of Pentacles here is questioning, what is my sense of safety, security, stability, well-being, belonging? It's all those things in life that have us feeling rooted. And those, no wonder this feels like a fear, because if any of those get a little tilt, then it can really throw us off. So maybe that's what the Knight of Swords is about, is like, does something feel a little unstable right now with your sense of like grounded security? But what you have here is in the right here in your unconscious motivations is hope and healing and renewal, which is probably why that makes so much sense now, why the Four of Swords is in the heart's desires. It's fully aligned with what's been driving you forward this whole time. Is like, it's not just the superficial stuff in life. It is wish fulfillment for this lifetime. This is huge, huge, huge. When you have Chariot, Star, High Priestess, Temperance. Whoa, this is bigger than I thought. We might have to, this feels like you are, with this coming into alignment and integrating, this feels like that pivotal moment where you're stepping into what you were put on this earth to do, or how you were the biggest. It's almost like, you know how we each, this is what I like to think about. We each come here with something we've designed for ourselves to overcome, to persevere through. If you want to use that word of the Nine of Wands. Oh, that makes more sense now why this is the dead center energy here. What do you, you're at this pivotal moment. There's some challenge that then we really are going to clarify the Seven of Pentacles, because everything here is deeply asking you to overcome this potential stall out. Ooh, I got the chills on that. You're not stalling out. Don't stall out. The Chariot is here. The Star is here. The High Priestess is here. Temperance is here. It's all here. Don't let the doubt, it goes back to what we said before, whatever that was. Don't doubt your ability to persevere, to do this pivotal moment. Don't stall out. It's almost like taking advantage of all the energies, like that Knight of Swords. All the energies are here, and you've created your like bubble of opportunity, like being able to harness those opportunities by like, it's almost like you're a magnet. You're a magnet and a mirror. There's something about you magnetizing those things that are like swimming around that we've talked about. You're becoming the magnet of how to bring the ones to you that matter the most. So there's something about the doubt in your ability to do that, or to take a beat. There's something about doubt and stall out. But we know you're not going to stall out. Just don't feed into that illusion. Whoa. That's interesting. I did not expect those words to come out with these cards. Let's actually, you know what? Let's clarify this Nine of Wands. Is this part of your soul journey, the challenge of this moment is that you're kind of doubting your ability to persevere through this, but it's, the thing is, you're not, that doesn't feel entirely true. It almost feels like, you know, you can push through anything. That's not, of course, you know that. This is like a spiritual stall out. Oh. Somebody's asking you to believe. That's weird. Okay, let's see. Nine of Wands, please. We have the Nine of Swords. Yeah, that's major down. And the Moon, that's your bit. Oh my God. So you have the Nine of Swords, the Moon, and the Emperor. The Moon in the heart of this points to like that biggest life's challenge, just how the weight of this, the gravity, that's, oh my God, the magnet, the gravity of this situation right now is it's almost so big I don't have words. It's gravity. You know what? Somebody last night in our little dinner said, it was a funny joke. He's like, oh, gravity's everywhere. And I was like, yes, it is. It totally is. What's that have to do with? Man, the Emperor is here. Number four, we have the Four of Pentacles. Emperor is so stable. And you've got the Seven of Wands. Somebody's really asking you to take a beat and dig in, persevere. Don't stall out. Everything's saying that. Trust in your own tuning fork system, your own antenna, your own calibration system, your own just resonance to integrate everything coming at you. Don't stall out because of this, because that's the surrounding energy, is like this stuff coming at you. It's all sword energy, it's mind. And we already see here, you're developing such a clarity of mind through your ability to like ground in, don't stall out. But the nice thing about the Seven of Pentacles is it does encourage you to take a beat. It's okay to pause without stalling out. Don't rush through this either. There's like so much temperance here, balance, harmony, like really taking things in moderation, not extremes. Because the Nine of Swords is the ultimate card of like anxiety, worry, second guessing, letting your head just destroy everything you're hoping for. Whoa, I got all the chills on that. Okay. The gravity of this just like whoosh. I feel like even my voice is so deep in my chest right now. That's what it feels like. Oh my God. Don't you feel that? Okay, so the Seven of Pentacles. It's the Page of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords again, and the Ten of Wands. Dang it, I had this vision earlier of maybe I thought, well, if it comes up in a reading today, we'll talk about it. And it has. And what's funny is it came at this, like the heart of this, the gravity of this reading is when it came out. So the Ten of Wands is this card of, it wasn't coming through earlier, and it's not coming through here now as dropping the heavy burdens. You already know that's in the past. You already know you don't have to push. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. You're beyond that now, aren't you? You know it. Now you're the mirror. You're not the reactionary, the fire energy of the wands. So that felt true for somebody to hear it that way. Okay, so let's just talk about what I felt earlier before I forget, because you know how I get like squirrely. So what I saw in my head earlier in my morning meditation was a woman walking away. So I saw the backside of her, and she had like long blonde, curly-ish, wavy hair, and she was in like a baby doll dress. It's so weird. I'm sorry. I don't know where these things come from. And she's walking away. She's walking away. That song was in my head too earlier or yesterday. Live to fight another day, and she's on. Wait, this might be one we have to look up the lyrics for. Yeah, hold on. Okay, we gotta pause. This is big. This is big. Okay, we got a lot going on here. So I have the lyrics. The song is "As She's Walking Away" by Zac Brown Band featuring Alan Jackson. It is a really good song. I love it. But it is not always in my head, and it was in my head right before, like yesterday. And this morning I didn't associate the vision with the song. So what I associated with the vision with today was the pivotal moments in life where walking away actually create, like you've shifted timelines. You're like reality shifting, if you want to say that. So it's like the 10 of wands where you say no more. It's bigger than just dropping the heavy load you've been carrying and not having to prove things to anybody anymore. It's not that, because the 9 of wands can sometimes feel like that, like I'm doing it all to prove something, and then you stop. It's that, but not, it's bigger than that. This is where once you do that, it shifts your reality, like you, in the most metaphysical way, you, it's real. Okay, so that's the believe part that was coming through. Believe that that stuff is real. Okay, so this says, there's so many lyrics. The first lyric that came to me that I wanted to hone in on was, um, when your heart won't tell your mind to tell your mouth what it should say. When your heart won't tell your mind to tell your mouth what it should say. May have lost this battle, live to fight another day. And then it's like, don't be falling in love as she's walking away, because it's kind of like that love song kind of vibe. But I wasn't taking this as a love song. It's almost like reality shifting. So there's something about when, like, you're getting everything, it's going back to everything's in alignment. Your heart, your mouth, your mind feels like it's like right in this moment coming into alignment. Like we've said, all that other stuff that where you weren't in alignment is in the past. And so it's like, this is saying, hold your ground, don't stall out, because that means slipping backwards. And we've already said you're not doing that. So it's like, the next part was, hold on. It's so long, I have to find it. Oh, I scrolled too far. Hold on, I gotta pause now. I don't want to waste your time. Okay, so the parts that seem important to this that I'm picking up on is the thing I said before, that's like when all those things aren't in alignment, like if you're starting to doubt that you're aligned or that there's too much or it's overwhelming, the thing we said before that I can't remember, where you doubt your ability to open up to blah, blah, blah. This says, so, and my heart won't tell my mind to tell my mouth what it should say. May have lost this battle, live to fight another day. We said that already. May have lost this battle, live to fight another day. And then the next verse says, wise man next to me did say about the one that got away, son, I miss my chance. Oh, that's where Alan Jackson comes in his voice. It's like, son, I'll miss my chance. I'm gonna regret posting this later. That's all right. Uh, don't you let regret take place of the dreams you have to chase. Ask her to dance. Go on, son. And so this is like, take the love reading or part of this out. This is like when I say, like, you're creating that bubble so you're magnetizing, you are the gravity, like, of things coming toward, like anchoring those things in. This feels very energetic and metaphysical. So it's science, man. It's like you're the magnet. And so this is like, don't doubt, don't stall out. This is what you're doing right now. Stay the course. Because you don't want to miss your chance, letting the one that got away. It's not just about, oh, I'll catch it next time. It's like, no, we know we're in this weird portal right now for however long it's going to last. Might be different for each of us, but for those of you watching it, it feels like you understand, like, things have been weird lately for you. Like the meaningful synchronicities, the meaningful chance things you're noticing, there's too many for it to be a coincidence. Like, these are meaningful coincidences. These are synchronicities. So these are signs. There's stuff happening in your world that you're perceiving, and you're like, whoa, it's a lot and it's awesome. What's it mean? And it's like, don't, like, keep in that energy. That, like, the moon says, if you start doubting it as if it was all an illusion, and you're like, and you get cynical or again reactionary with people, like all that is just don't. This is telling you to believe, as if you were like, the home decor where people stencil it on their walls. If you have to do that, go ahead. So the Page of Pentacles is that readiness to keep going down this Seven of Pentacles path. The page says, oh, are you ready to keep going? Don't stall out. This is like, you're going for it. The Queen of Swords is that right here. It's so when we're clarifying the challenge area, like what is doubting your conscious motivations and thoughts, that's what this is about. This is, don't doubt your own ability to shift your own reality. It's the way in which you're doing it is believing that that's how this shit works, is you are the gravity, you are the magnet. And so whatever's happening in your world, if you feel like you haven't created your bubble of belief, I don't know why that's coming through. But it feels like if you're allowing like boundaries to be a little too thin, meaning like, and that means your energy gets depleted or your thoughts get too scattered, or you're like, I'm considering too many things, something about really go deep in. And this feels like a broad generic thing, so it might be different for each person in the way in which you do this, the way in which you silence the doubt, the scattered. Sometimes you just have to shut it off. Remember, this might be pointing to like, have you done your chill out day yet? Maybe that's what it's pointing to. You need a chill out day for this thing. If you really feel like you're doubting your ability to reality shift. So what I was going to say earlier about the Ten of Wands vision that came through during my meditation, where it was like this girl in a baby doll dress with the long blonde hair walking away. There were two things. One, it reminded me of the Ten of Wands card in the Light Seers tarot deck, which I don't have here at home. It's at my studio, or I probably go through every 78 cards and pull it up so you could see it. It kind of reminds me of, oh no, it's not the Ten of Wands. That's a different, it's like a depiction in one of the cards there that reminded me of the Ten of Wands in that deck. But in reality, if I looked at it, I'd be like, I'm a dummy. That's not the Ten of Wands. That's the other card. But you know what I mean? That's what it reminded me of. So I thought, I bet today something's happening with the Ten of Wands. And then when I went deeper into that meditation, what was revealed was the moments in my life when I had the deepest, it wasn't a running away feeling. It was I'm done. And not in the way that's reactionary, not in the way that's running away. There have been times in my life where there was such I've taken this path to the end. We're done here. And that's what it felt like, to the point where something otherworldly happened to me that made me do something way unexpected, way out of the norm. I've talked about some of them over the past couple years while I've had this platform, I guess. So I don't know what you've heard, if you've watched any of those, but there have been times where I've been a people pleaser back in the day, and I've been like, I will push through, I will do anything. I will, at work, like work situations, like, sure, I'll take it on, no problem, I can do that. And then I almost kill myself doing it, like burnout. So it's like, there's been that energy in my life. And the moments where in work and other areas where I knew, not from a like reactionary standpoint or, but there was a very firm emperor quality to the taking this as far as I'm going to take it. We're done here. And it felt so big, like, I know this is going to, almost like I knew I didn't care about regrets. You know what I mean? It was like, I didn't care if I would regret. I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just like, I knew I was done. And I made some really big changes. And they were the walking away, this song, the Ten of Wands. It was the walking away energy that totally shifted my reality. And looking back, there were signs along the way that my reality was about to shift, but it took the big feeling of I'm done here. So, is that something in your life that's is something coming to that, or has it come to that, and that's why you're here right now saying, "Okay, what's next?" Because the Two of Wands is you going, "Oh yeah, I took it as far. Now I'm on the precipice of what's next." And I'm confident, I'm firm. So all of that wanted to come through. And the reason I didn't make the connection, did I? This is the funny part about the baby doll dress and the long blonde hair. And it felt like the vision was a country song where the woman was like walking off into the sunset or something as being done in this like floor. And I think, oh, and I forgot the important part that made me think it was a country song was like cowboy boots, cowgirl boots in her baby doll dress. It was like a floral pattern and she's walking away. And I was like, where did that come from? And then, of course, this is kind of like a country song, I guess. But anyway, I thought of Carrie Underwood. And that was the big connection. I already felt the walking away, we're done here. But the connection to my life was, oh, I was the web developer for season 4 American Idol when I lived in Los Angeles, and I worked on the Fox lot, like the Fox broadcasting lot, and they did American Idol. Maybe they still do, I don't know. But that was the year that I did their website. Like there were a bunch of us web developers that worked there, and we all worked on different websites. So I had, my big one was American Idol. And then I did the Fox broadcasting homepage and Who Wants to Be a Billionaire. And I filled in on the OC. Remember the OC? That's how old I am. Like when these shows were hot. So this was 2004, y'all, or 5. I think it was 2004, or it was 2005, and Carrie Underwood was season 4, something like that. And so that picture in my mind reminded me of Carrie Underwood, which put me back. Like, what's my association with Carrie Underwood? I lived and breathed her during that time of me being on the American Idol team. And so it was like that. And then I was like, oh, I know how that ended. It ended abruptly and it shifted my reality. So anyway, that's the backstory. Do you have any moments like that where, and I wonder if it has to do with like this mirror image and like other people's perceptions. If you can totally end, I think we're going to end this reading, but I'll tell you the end of this story, because maybe I already have and it's boring, but it still makes me laugh. So months and months later, maybe a year or two later, I don't even know how much later, it was a long time. That's funny. So I'm sitting at with my partner, and we were at this restaurant in Santa Monica where we lived, and we're sitting there, and across the way somebody looks familiar, and then they look at me and it looks like they think I look familiar, and then we start talking because the aisle isn't that wide, so we can just talk without getting up. And long story short, I worked with them at Fox, so they were there. So the way that I just was done was that one day I just left for lunch and never came back. I've never done that before. No explanation, nothing. I just left and did not come back. Except I still had my employee, like my contractor badge to the lot, because you can't just walk on the lot. And I'm like, oh shit, I gotta return that. So I walked away, but then I had to come back and drop off my badge at the desk at the kiosk. So anyway, but at the breakfast, that my old coworker was like, oh yeah, we were wondering what happened to you. And I'm like, yeah, I was just done. And they all understood because it was that kind of environment. But they're like, yeah, in the file system, like where we saved our work, like on the network drive, in folders, that we each had a personal folder, and mine was just my name. They were just our names. So we could just drop all our files that we wanted to save there every night or whatever. So they renamed mine to Elizabeth's, that's my name. Elizabeth's long lunch. They said they put so many O's in the word long that the folder name was just like, and that cracked me up so bad. But at the time, I didn't care. I just did not. I knew everything would be fine. I knew I was not crucial, right? They probably had to scramble, but I was done. I was done and over it. So anyway, that's my story. So I just want to wrap this up before I tell stories in case some of this resonates, because I feel like when I watch people and they tell a personal story, I'm reading between the lines on how I relate to that. So maybe do you have a moment like that in your life where you didn't care if what other people thought, and you didn't even care if you were going to have regrets? You just knew you were done. This was not for you anymore. And you weren't worried about what was coming next, at least in the moment. And then maybe when you're like, oh shit, I got to take that badge back, things were like, oh, did I make the wrong choice? I didn't feel that though. I knew I was done. But see how this fits in your life. I'm going to stop talking about this. I think we've gotten everything out of here we want to get. And let's reveal our spirit animal card. It's the elephant. Oh, it's got like the bindi, the emerald or the ruby or something on the third eye, and then a fire. It's holding a fire in its trunk. So let's try to find. Oh, I just passed it, I think. Here it is. Unstoppable, auspicious, wise. Don't stall out. You're unstoppable. The elephant is arguably the most auspicious figure in the deck. Like Ganesh, the elephant represents immense wisdom, as well as good fortune. It is said that the great elephant is the destroyer of obstacles. So, if this card appears when you feel stuck, oh my God, rest assured the path will soon become clear. To add to the mystery, the elephant is also known to create obstacles in order to steer us in the right direction. Trust this gentle, noble creature. It illuminates the way with the light of self-knowledge. When in balance, it's one-pointed focus. Generous, loving. When out of balance, it misunderstands fate. Like that master of your own fate thing. Do you trust it? Do you believe it? Were you aware that that's what this game's all about? To bring into balance, trust. There's the word, trust. Believe, trust. So what to add to the mystery, the elephant is also known to create obstacles in order to steer us in the right direction. I was just telling somebody on the phone right before I came here to make this thing that there's been this huge energy, and we've talked about it in like so many of these readings. Doors are closing so that others can open. So if you're in this bubble and you're scared of like, which doors are closing, maybe I'm not ready for them to close, and you're like, and that's what's giving you that stall out fear. Doors are meant to close. That's how other ones open. You can't have too many. We've already talked about that. I don't have to go down that, but if you haven't been here, that's the energy that's been growing for this month at least, is cycles closing so that spills us or tips us into the next cycle opening. Doors have to close so that the right one or ones to walk through. Obstacles have to be, this is coming back. So it's something about the word resistance. Remember we had that reading a long time ago now that's like, it's okay to add resistance. You can even add it in your own life to make it less likely that you will go through some of these doors that you're leaving open. right? You can throw up some roadblocks in front of the doors. Put something you're going to trip over. Just kidding, don't. That's not safe. But you know what I mean? Like you can add resistance. For example, if you have a habit that you're not particularly fond of, maybe you binge watch something every night and you're tired of, like, that's a slippery, well-worn pathway. You just grab your device, throw on the thing, and you zone out, and you don't like doing that. I'm not saying binge watching is bad, trust me. But if that's your habit you're not particularly fond of, whatever device you go to, whether it's an iPad or a TV or whatever, what can you do to add resistance so that it's just a little more challenging or a little more effort to do it? That's what I mean. So that's just one example. But is there something where you can add a little more efforting into a pathway you don't want to go down anymore? It's okay to add resistance. I love that message that came through. And on the flip side, the elephant, like Ganesha in Hindu mythology, if you want to call it that, is the remover of obstacles. The remover of, and funny enough, that's what I have on my arm. I don't know if a lot of people know that. I've had a couple people clue in, they're like, I like your Ganesha. And I'm like, oh, you noticed, because it's not the typical depiction. But I really resonate with Ganesha because there is something about this, like there's this, maybe, okay, let's talk about it since it is our spirit animal. There's a joyful playfulness to that character in my mind, in the way I like to view Ganesha, is like there's this, I don't know how else to say it other than joy, like playfulness about the way you dance through life that has obstacles. You don't even perceive obstacles with that mindset, right? That's the energy that we're talking about. Why are you perceiving obstacles where the moon has that illusion energy? It's almost like the emperor, when he gets too rigid, he's going to perceive like everything's a threat. Everything's an obstacle. Now I've got to work really hard. I got to be more stern and firm and rigid. That's what Ganesh says. No, just you're dancing on a ball through the universe and you're bouncing your way through. I don't know why that's coming through, but it's the way you're perceiving obstacles where there are none. Oh my God. And those are the doors. For some reason, it's like there's something about when you perceive obstacles, those are the things you got to let go. That's the analogy of closing those doors, because it's like, no. Now, with my perception of obstacles out of the way, now all I see are green lights, open pathways, open doors, right? Let's end there. I forget what we were going to title this. To be determined. Well, you know now because it's uploaded and you're watching it, but I don't know. So we'll see what comes out. Thank you for being here. And yeah, be joyful, be playful. Just know, like, all the energetic forces are like here supporting you. So it's like, don't stall out. Don't stall out. Add resistance where needed and drop those perceptions of obstacles where needed. It's the both and. Okay, bye-bye.